your take on grave punishment before Judgment Day. Do you have a clip on it on grave punishment? So shukran, much love, Waika, for the super chat. I'm not sure if I have a clip on punishment of the grave. I can't remember, to be honest. I've spoken so much. I have definitely spoken on it in the past. Look, punishment of the grave. There's different ways to people read the Quran. They have the corpus of the Islamic tradition, and people understand different things. Certain people, they look at the Quran and they say that, right, or they look at the whole corpus, the whole tradition, and they say there is going to be punishment in the grave. They say that there is a stage between this life and the next life, and it is a kind of purgatory like stage. And this is called the grave realm, even though it's not really in the grave. But so if you dig up the grave, they're not there, but it's like a Venn diagram between this realm and the next realm. And the thing you have in the middle, the overlap of the Venn, that's the kind of barzakh realm. So in this realm is going to be punishments and pleasures and all of these things. So there are many, I would say possibly today, even the majority, what I could say this, I don't know without carrying out the exact research, but let's say you could say the majority of the people believe this. There have been other ulama that have also looked in Islam. They have looked at this and said, well, when you look at the Quran, it does not seem to suggest, because the Quran, when you look at it, it shows that people, when they die, they seem to be in the Quran. There's Allah saying they arise from the dead, saying, oh, were we asleep? How long were we asleep? Wasn't it just half a day, or was it just a moment? Or they seem to have no sense of time, as though they couldn't tell what was happening. So some people say, well, there's no such thing mentioned in the Quran categorically of the punishment of the grave. So maybe there isn't a punishment. There isn't this. But what it is that maybe that experience that you're going through in those moments, it may be shaded by a kind of dark experience or an enlightened experience based on what is yet to come. So it's like a trailer kind of, or a premonition exposure to the continuum of life. So that's some way that people look at this. Other people may say, well, no, some verses in the Quran hint towards there is a punishment, fine. Some people say it probably doesn't. Some Muslim philosophers may argue that no, it's kind of just all consciousness once you go on. It doesn't, look, people will believe many things. It's not, I would say that all of these beliefs are taken from Islam. They are taken from the Quran and the tradition. If you follow one, that's fine. If you follow the different one, to me, that's fine. If you follow the other one, that's fine. If you follow another one, that's fine. It doesn't really, to be honest, I'll stop short of saying I haven't experienced death, but not in the traditional sense. So nobody that has completely experienced categorical death comes back to talk of it. So in that sense, this is all in the ilm of Allah. That's what it is. Only Allah knows. I would say concern yourself with this world. Concern yourself with your life. You don't need to worry about the qualitative texture of what will the other dimension feel like, because you won't understand it anyway. What would you understand about another life? You couldn't possibly understand it. It's not from this realm. So how do you understand another realm that you cannot imagine, think, see, smell? So it's, yeah. But by all means, if you're already in whatever you believe and you want to read up more on it, feel free to do so. I hope that helps. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, who's been to the grave and has come back for certain? But I wouldn't look. what I wouldn't do, I'll just add a little footnote to that. Don't make this a thing. Don't kind of, people make these into um, inquisitions. What do you believe will exactly happen when you die? Okay, you are a kafir. You are on the borders of Islam. You are a Muslim, but you're not a Sunni Muslim. You are, look, don't make this a thing. Okay. Just have your faith, try to be a good human being. Have love for Allah, have love for the Quran, have love for the Prophet, ﷺ, and spread that love amongst humanity. Don't try to, oh, do you believe the ribs will exactly penetrate into each other? Do you believe that there will be scorpions in the grave? Oh, you don't believe there'll be scorpions in the grave. Okay, well, this guy, but he does believe the ribs will. So, okay, he can still be a Muslim, but he can't be a proper Muslim. And that person can't be this kind of a Muslim. He should be a kafir completely. And that guy might as well just be Jewish, or he might as well just be, don't do this. It is insulting to Islam. Okay. Just remember, if you preoccupy yourself with these things, just remember that you will be heading to that grave at some point. This life is not, don't, if you try to make yourself the gatekeeper of God's dominion, of what only Allah has dominion over, then that's it's a pity. That's all I can say.